What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol IWM for the Russell 2000 ETF, right? So that's going to track small caps. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. This is something that I watch regularly on an intraday basis, so the chart is already marked up, and there's a couple of things I just want to walk you through as we're looking at this analysis. So the first thing, if you watch the main channel, is that we've constantly been discussing for now that we've been trading smack in the middle of this range for the last couple of weeks, but as of this week, things have started to change. We have started to break down here and move towards the lower end of the range being defined as 208 all the way up towards 235, the whole dollar. Okay, so that's what we define as the range, and we are moving towards the lower third. And as we know, whenever we're dealing with ranges, the opportunity really lies up here at the top or down here at the bottom. So as we get closer, what I like to think about IWM as is a risk on, risk off signal. If we get into 208 and it starts to break down, that's going to start to be more of a risk off signal across the market as a whole. It tends to act as a leader. If we get down to 208 and it does just sort of hold here and then make a significant bounce higher, it's just neutral risk, and it's going to be the same story that we've had for quite some time here. Technically, we are at the 200 SMA on the daily time frame. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. And generally, that does tend to act as support. This is the first time we've even come close to it in quite some time here, so I would be interested in seeing the reaction. This was, semi-close, but this might actually turn into a realistic touch of the 200, in which case, again, we are looking for that to act as support. If it does move higher here, off of 215, off of the 200 SMA, what is the target up above? I mean, IWM is not really one of those things that I trade, but it's just one of those things that I use to gauge sentiment. Again, if we do move higher towards the top of the range, or excuse me, the midpoint of the range, that number is 222.50. Anything above that, 227, and of course the top end is up there around 235, but that's not really something I would argue is in play just yet. Focusing the attention over to the 30-minute time frame now, just to check in on the actual price action that occurred today. What is going on here? How was the close? It was weak, right? There's no if, ands, or buts about that. Here's the 930 candle on IWM right about, it's here. And we'll do something like this from the low all the way up to the high. Things were fine and dandy into the afternoon, holding on to that 38.2, consolidating nicely into a flag, and then of course with the FOMC announcement, all of that went out the window, and we certainly closed weak on the session. So to me, it does look like we want to see a little bit more downside follow through. We'll all have to see what happens at the 200 SMA, but you have some general levels to pay attention to. Again, think of this as more of a risk on, risk off signal, and right now it's still neutral, but if we get into 208 and start to break it, that would start to signal more of a risk off scenario. If you enjoyed today's video or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.